سلام. اليوم حابة أشارككم a concept or a thought that was inspired by a conversation and بلشت بدعاء سمعته من أمي، واللي هو الله يرزقني ويرزق مني. وقد ايه حبيت هالدعاء انه مش بس بدعي لحالي، بس بدعي انه الله يجيب الرزق لغيري مني. And I found that really beautiful to نفكر أو أفكر مش بس بحالي، بس أفكر كمان مني كيف أفيد غيري. وشغلة لاحظتها في كتير coaches and healers and guides بيحكوا عن موضوع الabundance، الوفرة، وcourses وworkshops، وحضرت a few of them. وشغلة لاحظتها in many of them في كتير تركيز على الشخص، على الأنا، إنه أنا كيف أطور نفسي لأوصل لهالمرحلة، أنا كيف أغير تفكيري لأوصل لها to this destination. And yes, a lot of them بيحكوا إنه كيف أنا ممكن أطلع فايدة مني تأوصل to this goal or destination اللي بدي أوصل له. حلو، بس what I think a lot of these courses and workshops lack is to truly think about الصورة الكبرى, right? Is to truly think about the bigger picture of how can I attain this wealth بس مش بس لحالي وأفيد غيري فيه، لحالي وأبني شيء يعمل تغيير في مجتمعات، في قرى، في أماكن فيها فقر، فيها ظلم and so on. ويمكن what I feel sometimes is part of this mindset في كتير تركيز على هذا الموضوع, and maybe part of it because هلأ so far those who have wealth are people who are in power, ويمكن مش دايما بيفكروا بمصلحة الجميع. and كتير هدول الكورسز الوركشوب فادوني اني اغير علاقتي مع المال، اغير تفكيري، اشوف انه المال ما هي مربوطة ب my worth وقديش الله بيحبني او ما بيحبني، قديش I'm successful or not. يعني كتير في اشياء تكسرت مني داخليا، بس ضل في this kind of obsession انه لسه لازم ابني لاوصل لهالشي، وانه في صعوبة تقبل اني انا اتقبل where I am as I am to be content. Part of it may be my own desire, part of it my own insecurity, part of it may be this pressure of كل this content that is constantly being bombarded إنه في نقص، في شيء غلط، لازم you work to get to this place. And the trap is إنه كثير مرات من الناس يلي بيشتغلوا على حالهم، يلي بيوصلوا لهالمكان, what they never mention is لما الواحد يوصل the goal that they worked so hard to get to, بيصير في a new layer بتفتح, which is a layer of how can I attain this? How can I maintain this life and not lose it? So it's not like نوصل لهالمرحلة and then we're good, we're content. Because we know today there's no limit. ما في limit to how far humans can go, no limit to how far humans can create, how much they can attain. There's no limit. There's no sky to that limit. And so بنضل في this فجعة of more. It's never enough. And this is part of the illusion of the game of life, right? في بالBuddhism, there's a god or a being called Maya. And Maya is the god of illusion, the illusion of life, the illusion of earth, the illusion of money, of children. ونحن برضو هذا الشيء موجود في كل المعتقدات. يعني نحن عندنا كمان الله قال بالقرآن المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا. So it's all part of the illusion. And it's part of the game. But which role do I want to play in that game? هذه بترجع للشخص. كنت عم بحكي, I was having a conversation with a friend about this, particularly about the game of life and the roles we play and so on, and how we're not supposed to نخلي أشياء الدنيا to pull on the strings of our heart. And this is what the Prophet عليه السلام قالنا, this is what مذكورة بالقرآن, this is what مذكورة في كل الديانات, إنه not to be sucked in the illusion of life, the illusion of this game that we're playing, to play the game, to be aware that I'm playing the game, but to also keep myself in check of how am I playing the game. Am I constantly letting the matters of life to pull on the strings of my heart, right? And it's much harder to apply it than it is. It's easier to say than to apply it, because this physical thing is the most thing that I'm experiencing. So it's the realest thing that I am experiencing. But we also know this is temporary. We also know أنه أنا هون لفترة, a speck of a second in existence, and then I'm gone. So how will I choose to play this game? And what I think a lot of these courses and workshops that talk about abundance, and I think they're amazing, and I believe that الناس اللي وراهم بنية صالحة. But what I really think it's lacking is the consideration of others, is the planning of how can I attain this wealth, and from this wealth, how can I create something good for others? How can I build schools? How can I housing? How can I educate people? How can I empower people to pick themselves up and live this game in a way that gives them a chance to catch up? Because what tends to happen a lot is when people build their wealth and build their legacy, and naturally we do this as human, we gravitate towards people like us. So we end up surrounding ourselves with people that are within the same level of income, the same level of mindset. And unless a person constantly put themselves in a situation that allows them to see the levels of existence of life, then you will always live in a bubble of people like you, in a bubble of people that have the same mindset, the same lifestyle, and it keeps you from seeing that there are other people that have much less, and that are less fortunate and don't have as many opportunities and don't have as many chances to play the game. And so I like to always think in a way that how can I serve me, but also not just me, how can I serve others? How can I help others to play the game in a way that doesn't keep this massive gap between us? And this is why I believe that doing volunteer work and charity and seeing it with your eyes, how others are living their life, one gets to realize how lucky and blessed they are, and how much they have is a lot, and is a lot that is it's the shahwat of life, right? Yes, it's nice to have enough wealth to travel first class or even have a private jet or have a few beach houses. كل هذا حلو، ما اختلفنا 100%. But also there's no limit to how much is enough, how much is content, how much is good for me to say, you know what, I've enjoyed this life, it's time for me to share this. It's time for me to share this wealth with people who are less fortunate, because sometimes there are people that live in such basic conditions that 3% of one's salary is enough to make a huge shift in someone else's life. And what I think is where we need to start going, or the direction we need to start moving, is towards creating connection with humans of different levels, of different mindsets, of different layers of society, and not just think of oneself and how much they can gain. Because I don't believe we're meant to attain everything alone. I don't believe that one is supposed to have billions and billions of dollars, as amazing as it sounds, but also it keeps one stuck in this bubble of their wealth, rather than using this wealth to spread it amongst people, to help all of humanity rise as one. So Allah يرزقنا ويرزق غيرنا منا.